Alright guys, TacticalRab here today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Dashy with a few spicy words for Owakening last night, saying that he's clueless, no idea how to play this game right now. HyDra seems to agree as well. Is this the reason why the Minnesota Rocker are struggling to start off Modern Warfare 3? He did actually say this in front of Vivid, that being, of course, Awakening's teammate on that exact roster. If anyone wants to enter your thoughts in the comment section below, hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I greatly appreciate it. I did expect some, reaction yesterday when I said that I was going to change the intro around, but I didn't expect the, some of the passionate responses that I got. So back by popular demand, the TacticalRab is banging into intro is going to be officially back in business. And sure, maybe some new people have no idea what I'm saying, and that's fine. That's the culture, baby. But I do appreciate how much people want it to be back, so we're certainly going to keep it for at least the time being. Quick updates here from the Boston Breach. Their major's coming up at the end of January, in just a couple of weeks' time at this point. Challenges open right now. Look, sure, the CDL certainly haven't been helping the challenger scene massively in recent times, but thankfully there are still some organizations that are giving it a go, because Boston are hosting, of course, a challengers event at their major, despite the fact that there still hasn't been any announcement from the CDL on what the circuit leading up to that's going to be, how the seeding's going to work, all these questions that we need answers to. But the cool thing is the grand finals for challengers will be hosted on the main stage on Sunday before the matches kick off. So that's really cool. It's been done in the past, but it's great to see that, Boston are going for this again. It's going to be fantastic, I'm sure, in person. So if you guys are looking to attend, I'll put the link in the description or something to have a look at the tickets. I'm pretty sure you can also attend, just get one-day tickets or whatever you guys can fit in. It was great fun last year. So yeah, Challengers Grand Finals in Boston on the main stage. It's been done before, but, it's not always done. And it's good to see, but, it's, I imagine for many it will feel like little consolation given the state of the Challenger scene at the moment, but Doug will be getting involved and looking to do his best when that officially comes around. There's also been some discussion here from Black Shark, for example, on exactly whether the CDL could. I mean, I think this idea is so optimistic that I actually kind of respect it, but because of the chaos with challenges this year, the community would forgive everything, I don't know about that, if the COD League hosted a Pro-Am mid-season as a surprise event. Can you imagine if the CDL, after all the decisions they made over the last couple of years, turned up with a surprise Pro-Am? Like, it's not going to happen, but it would be kind of mind-blowing. And look, even if they did make it cheap, Columbus host no crowd mid-season events, biggest break in the schedule, it could be done, but, no crowd except me, please, Azad. But, let's be honest, what actually is going to be happening here. Now, we've got to talk about BPL. So if you guys aren't familiar with BPL, it's, Breaking Point Ladder is technically what it stands for various naming rights related reasons, but they exist all around the world at this point. The MENA one, so the Middle East and Africa one, has been absolutely popping off. I know that Falcons have been supporting it, and, we can see here $7,500 prize pool. That's not, for the pros. That's for anyone who wants to get involved in the premium or premier and open divisions of the BPL. So anyone can get involved in this and play in the various BPLs around the world, but it really started with the Pro BPL. So what this effectively was is a way for the pros to play eights in a way that they haven't been able to before, with prize money on the line, tracking who wins and who loses more often over time in the eights lobbies that are randomly assigned, and over time the best player therefore will take the lion's share of the prize pool. Drazah won it in the first split we did when the game came out really in the early part of December, but his max plan has been for the start of the new year to basically run a split of BPL, ideally every single month from like basically from now forever. Like every month there'll be, hopefully, at least for the time being, as long as we get the sponsors and stuff to support this, a split every month where there's money on the line, because the pros won't play if there's not money, to be honest. And, we thought about, okay, could the pros have to like pay in? Would they, because they could put some money in to kind of help us fund it. But, some pros are going to play more than other pros. So, some aren't going to want to put the money in. I kind of get it, but that's fine. Ideally, we want to run one of these like every month, just eternally, and then change things up over time. I mean, who knows? Maybe the September split this year, we go and play Black Ops 3 for a month. Okay, no comment on that. But, still, even for the BPL, right? So this is like what anyone can play in. They've, Easamac and the boys have added in Greece Hardpoint to the rotation. So that's going to be tried out there. Sure, the pros won't play it until probably after the major. Then they might make that change to the rotation, to the map pool. But so that's the plan. 3K for the pros. runs the entire month. Also, so the BPLC, there's a premier tier of that when anyone can play, but the best tier is like the premium premier tier, whatever. The 2 best players from the first split there got promoted up to the main BPL. So there's like kind of promotion, not exactly relegation, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially because those guys play a lot and not all the pros do. So there's different ranked divisions. You know, EasyMac and the boys just killed it with this. There's Warzone stuff as well. LATAM server coming soon. S&D queues. I mean, look, I haven't been the one setting this up, but, you know, I look at what the boys have achieved here and I think, like, damn, compared to what the $300 million league has managed this season, I'm pretty impressed with what the boys have come up with. So now, just to quickly mention, right, with GoFrosty going up to the BPL proper tier, Paul X says, or the pro tier, Paul says, you know, Hamza is my dog, but why am I not allowed in? And he is. But that's just, you know, the way that it works, because as we can see, if we go to BPLC Premier Division, GoFrosty and Shotzzy were the top performers than before. So, you know, they grinded, they were top of the BPL ladder, so they get promoted to the top tier. You know, there's always got to be some gatekeeping in. Naturally, you can't allow everybody in, but I think the way that we've got it going at the moment is pretty damn good. So, you know, there's BPLCs all around the world, and we can see who's on the top 100 for most of the ladders all around the world. So fantastic work. But of course, with BPL officially back in business, especially on the pro side, that means that content is finally here again, because for the last couple of weeks, with no BPL, with no CDL matches, with no ranked play, you know, what are the pros playing? Not all that much, to be honest. Now, Drazah reckons that the money's going to start raking it again with BPL Split 2 finally arriving, and there was a few games going down last night. This was one of them: Drazah, aBeZy, Temp and Gwyn versus Clay, Wake, Joe and Fellow. So this was one of them, but we saw later on Dashy got involved, HyDra got involved, and we'll see how that goes in just a second. It's starting here with this clip from Dashy. So here they are on a Karachi hardpoint. Awakening gets a couple of kills, and sure, over the course of this 8 series, I think Awakening and Dashy had pretty similar set to stats. However, so far this season, the results have been rather different, and we know that there's kind of been, well, an insult maybe thrown at Awakening and Vivid, for example, that have played a fair bit of 8, and they actually were very good in the first BPL split that happened last month sometime, but they haven't really translated that right, and some people say these guys are 8s warriors or whatever. So Dashy has a few words to say for Awakening after getting killed and says, like, this guy's got no idea what he's doing, making terrible plays. HyDra agrees. I don't know if Dashy realised that Vivid was on his own team, who is Awakening's teammate, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Go top red.
What's wrong with RB, boys?
Still Wake. It's still Wake. They're both there then.
He's killing me.
Wake is on time. This guy's so bad at the game, bro. Like, he's so bad. Like,
Really good when we have time. I've never seen that shit.
welcome to Ace. I don't know if Wake knows what the fuck he's doing, dude. I'm actually convinced on this
He
one.
doesn't. I promise you.
Just looked at a window for 8 seconds and then like
with 2 seconds. 2 seconds. He's P5.
Oh my god, bro. Framing a ghost, dude. But then like he appears because I don't know. I actually don't even know at this point. Like, good, sick play. Nice try. Nice try, guys.
So what do you guys think about the discussion right now around Awakening? Because clearly Dashy doesn't reckon this guy's got any idea what he's doing at the moment. Now, people will say, and I get it, that Awakening technically, depending on the way you consider this, has more championship wins than Dashy has. I'm not really sure I buy that idea personally, but, you know, Awakening did win 3 online home series back in MW19 on that Florida team. So, you know, technically, if you want to look at it like that, those were 3 event wins, which were, you know, very valid event victories, kind of, but they were only 8 teams there and it was online. So, you know, well done, Florida, and they were at times, you know, best team in that game before they kind of fell off towards the end of the year, ever since Awakening came in the first place. But still, you know, I'm not sure that I would consider those 3 victories from Big Wake and the Florida guys at the time to be worth more than Dashy's 2 victories on LAN plus the MVP, but, you know, that is a matter of debate. But regardless, so far this season, you know, there's only been 1 better player between the 2 of them, and Awakening's been struggling hard. I just want to clarify that we're still looking through to try and figure out why there are some statistical anomalies on the website. My belief is that the team pages, if you guys are trying to find the stats for the season, the team stat pages on the team pages are correct. You can find these by going to the CDL page and then just go to the standings and click on the team. We can actually see here, Rocker, yeah, it's not looking so good. Bottom of the league right now, top 12 as it stands. and then you go to the team stats part. These stats, I believe, are correct. On the player pages, there's a couple of anomalies. We're trying to figure it out. Like if I look at accuracy, for example, he has a 0.8 here. If I go to his page, I think he says he has a 0.79. So, you know, and some of the numbers under here usually kill per round. These numbers tend to be wrong. There's a few issues with basically every player page right now. So apologies for that. We're working to try and fix it. But I'm pretty sure this is about right. And I mean, it looks about right, doesn't it? Given the way that things have gone so far. Wake has a 0.94, but in search, he's got a 0.5. And that's not pretty. Hardpoint, he has a 0.84. Control, he's actually in the positive, but, you know, not maybe substantially so. And it's been a question with Awakening the last couple of seasons. Big time Slayer, often, but has that translated into results? Typically, not necessarily. I mean, this is just one of the funniest scoreboards that I've ever seen in my life when Boston played Florida on Tuscan Hardpoint back in Vanguard, when Awakening went 37-13 for the loss, somehow. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say about this anymore. Of course, he was playing with Vivid at the time, and now they're back together again on this Minnesota Rocker squad, but it's not been looking especially good so far. Does this come down to Awakening to some degree? Because when you form this team with accuracy on it, you need your second AR, Awakening in this case, or, you know, basically in this game it's kind of like 2 ARs and a flex, but you know what I mean? You need that player to slay out hard. In the same way that Ravens need God or X to drop numbers with Clay there. Okay, Clay's going to have good damage and stuff, but he's not going to drop a 1.2, so you kind of need that from God or X. That's not happening. It's not happening for Big Wake here on the Minnesota Rocker, in the same way that last year with accuracy, this team, you know, the Seattle Surge roster was still pretty bad, but they had way more firepower than this. That's the issue for Rocker as far as I'm concerned. And look, with Big Wake, ever since the sound EQ has now disappeared, is he washed now? You know, I don't really think so, but for whatever reason, it's not working out for him on this title, at least in actual match play. In 8, he still looks okay, although Dashy has questions on the way that he plays certain situations and says that he's kind of clueless, and maybe the implication is that, well, no sound EQ. Okay, sound EQ is still possibly a thing, although the pros have now officially GA'd it, and with dead silence, it becomes far less relevant. And, you know, is there a correlation between sound EQ now no longer being a thing and Awakening regressing somewhat? Maybe. And I guess the other question I'd have is that if you had to make a change right now with the Minnesota Rocker, let's say you were forced to make a 2-man change, what would you decide to do? Because my opinion is the team has kind of made their bed by signing accuracy. I made this point on the Dope Trick episode the other day, but, you know, they made the call. They're signing accuracy. He's going to be their, you know, leader, main AR type figure. You know, and they've made that decision that accuracy is going to be their man, and you can try and drop him and change that around, but who exactly do you get, right? Because it's not like you've got many other, you know, guys in that role, unless you want to get a guy like Major Maniac back, maybe, you know, leadership type AR players. There's not that many of them. They could have got, maybe they could have gone for Clay, they could have gone for other options in that role, but they've chosen accuracy, and you kind of know what you're getting from him. So I'm not sure they're getting rid of accuracy. If you drop accuracy, does that really make any sense, given the guidance these other guys clearly need, and the fact that they don't seem to play particularly well together in the first place? So out of the 2 ARs, if I was looking at a change, I would almost more so consider trading out Awakening than I would accuracy, which is kind of wild to think about. And maybe trying to add more firepower there was fine, and at the same time, accuracy's job is to get the best out of these guys. And if Awakening now looks worse than he did before, then obviously that's, you know, maybe not just his fault, but, you know, massively intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. Very interesting storyline. What do you think about Dashy's statement? I'll just bring up here the quick QR codes if you guys want to get involved in BPL. These are for the various leagues around the world. So if everyone's intrigued your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.